welcome to JacksCentral.com's newest video blog straight from the Lumberjacks sports team that writes for your sports section in your college newspaper. That's right, this is Jacked Up, our new video blog. We're going to ask in a sort of around the horn style, ESPN style, we're going to ask four of our greatest sports writers here at the Lumberjack a few questions and let them sound off on a few national topics, plus one here at home at NAU. So let's go ahead and get this off, guys. First, we're joined off by women's basketball beat reporter Chuck Constantino, men's basketball beat reporter Matt McFadden, sports writer Brandon J. Smith, and assistant sports editor Nate Alcorn. I'm your sports editor, Wade McMillin, and I will be your host. All right, first off, guys, we have Tiger Woods is making his great return. He came back last week. And, what do you guys see from him coming on to this year? Let's go ahead and sound off. Chuck, why don't you hit it on first?
Well, Tiger Woods is back in golf, so therefore golf is now relevant. I see him probably winning a couple big tournaments this year, and going on and completing his legacy as the greatest golfer.
All right, Matt McFadden, you're up.
Tiger Woods back in golf. It's good for the sport. I mean, every time the face of the sport's back in the sport, it's obviously going to be good. And golf doesn't exactly have that much exciting marketability outside of Tiger and John Daly, so it should be good.
Brandon, go.
Tiger being back for golf is great for the sport, great for publicity, great for marketing, great for business, great for revenue, and great for the fans. I'm not sure who the fans are, but there are fans everywhere who watch golf. As far as the performance is concerned, I'm not so sure. He's coming back from his knee injury. It might be tough walking up to the fourth green there. He might aggravate something, but he'll still do pretty well. I'm not sure who would be able to take him out, but I think he'll do adequate for the first few rounds and slowly improve and get better and then dominate everyone.
Nate Alcorn, assistant sports editor.
Like Chuck said, Tiger Woods is back, golf is back. Do you know who won any of the major tournaments last year? I don't. Who cares? Without golf, or without Tiger Woods, there is no golf. He didn't do too well last weekend in his tournament, but by the Masters he'll be back to his normal self. He's not even to his prime years yet, and he'll recover from the knee. It may take him a year. He'll be back. He'll complete his legacy as the greatest golfer ever and one of the greatest athletes ever.
All right, guys, good answers, but have you ever heard of Sergio Garcia or Vijay Singh? Come on, give some other guys some credits. Tiger might not win every tournament. He's okay. We'll just have to see. I like the remarks by Brandon. I'll have to give him this round. Going on to question 2. We got Major League Baseball coming up. Spring training just a few hours away from Flagstaff, of course, in Phoenix, Arizona. So, a lot of off-season moves were made, a lot of big names out there. Guys, who do you like going to the World Series?
2 words, and it's New York, and it's not the Yankees. I like the Mets this year. They added K-Rod. They finally got their closer. Billy Wagner's gone. K-Rod will be there all year. This is the Mets' year. I think the Sox will take the AL. The Red Sox, that is, but, baby, I'm loving New York.
Brandon, tell me what you got.
I will have to agree with Nate. Because the Mets got K-Rod, their bullpen's better, but they also forgot adding J.J. Poots to set him up. It really shores that game up, especially for Johan, going perhaps 7 and finishing the rest with up there. So I'll take the Mets in the NL. In the American League, I have a feeling so far that it'll come out of the American League East. And I'm going to have to say Yankees for the second Subway Series in about 10 years.
And Matt McFadden, a little off from basketball. Who do you got for baseball?
In the NL this year, I got the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah, I like that. They got the best starting rotation, in my opinion, in the NL. Heron, they just signed John Garland. In the AL, obviously it's a popular pick to pick the Red Sox or Yankees, but I'm going to go with the A's on this one. They just signed Orlando Cabrera today, and I think their rotation will be good enough to push them into the World Series.
And last but certainly not least, Mr. Constantino.
All right, with the AL, I'm going to have to go with the Yankees. I like what they did, adding CC, workhorse. I'm not so big on the Burnett. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to get injured. I like the Teixeira deal. But in the NL, I don't know what Matt's talking about. The best rotation is obviously Chicago Cubs. They're pretty much when they added Heimlin, pretty much 7 deep. And now I think they'll break the 100-year curse.
All right, guys, good picks, good picks. I don't know about Oakland versus Arizona, though. I think Oakland's rotation is just a little too young, and Arizona might have lost just a little too much this offseason. So with that one, I'm going to have to give it to my right-hand man, Nate, on that question. So let's move on to NAU here. Men's basketball team just recently, just went on a losing streak there at the end and lost a few players too, and lost out of playoff contention. So what the heck happened to those guys? I mean, you guys are from the school, obviously. What did you see from the NAU team this year? Why did they downfall? Chuck, go ahead and sound off.
All right, from the games that I went to, it looked like when they lost Josh Wilson, there's just no senior leadership out there. And having only 8 men in the rotation must hurt them a lot. Also, I think next year they'll be good with some sophomores coming up, but yeah, that's basically it.
Right, Matt McFadden, go ahead and dazzle us. You are a beat reporter.
Like you said, I actually covered the men's team this year, and in the locker room, they were just spilling their guts to me the whole season. NAU lost 8 games by 4 points or less, and that's just unacceptable. But also, the injury to Josh Wilson and the expulsion of Matt Johnson and Jermaine Calvin obviously hurt them at the end of the season. But all in all, it was just because they couldn't close out games.
Brandon, let's hear what you got to say about the NAU basketball team.
All right, these guys basically got to find their cojones if they're going to come back next year. Losing games by 4 points or less, come on, you got to be able to finish it out, pull it through, just like the 80s Celtics or the 90s Bulls. So that's all I got.
Nate, what do you got?
What I saw this year, Wade, was a lack of passion. The team this year, they didn't want it. It looked they weren't focused. They come out. The 2 seniors get kicked off the team before the season's over. Come on, they lost their focus this year. It didn't seem like they wanted it. They make the Big Sky tournament 4 years in a row. They can't do it this year with all the senior players. Come on, they just didn't care this year.
All right, guys. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. That team definitely did suck down the end stretch. But the arguments were awesome. But I'm gonna have to give this argument to Matt McFadden just because he covered the team. He had some pretty good facts for us. But the overall trophy is going to have to go to Brandon Smith. He had a great on-camera presence today, and in our first premiere episode, I think he did well. Kind of looked like a guy up around the horn. But that's all the time we have today here in the NAU Media Room. I've been Wade McMillin, your host. Of course, I've been joined by Chuck Constantino, Matt McFadden, Brandon J. Smith, and Nate Alcorn. See you next time, next week on Jacked Up.